Hey folks, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, whatever the case may be. I really got to work on doing videos more often. I know, too inconsistent, too irregular. I'm working on it, okay? So, yes, those of you who are new, welcome. Yay, sorry, yay, I am over 300 subscribers and going good. As you can see, I'm still working on these fishies. Yay, still working. I'm working on the second fish. Yeah, I'm working on the body of the second beta fish here. Yeah, the body here. And I still have the rest of the huge tail of this. This fish has a huge tail. Now this diamond painting, I can't remember. It is, I kept thinking 40 by 70. It's actually 40 by 80 centimeters. Yes, 40 by 80 centimeters. So yeah, I've been alternating the yeah, there were a few days when I did not do any diamond painting at all. My depression got pretty low. And I avoided talking a lot for long periods of time to anybody, really, except for a couple of people. I'm still I'm pushing myself to get things done and be productive and getting caught up on stuff and what have you. So today is Sunday, October 12th. My birthday is in 11 days. Yay! 11 days, and I'm going to be 49. Right? 49? 48. Oh my goodness. Yeah, all year I kept thinking I'm 48, but no, I'm actually 47. I'm turning 48. I am turning 48. Yeah. Oh my goodness. My math, my mind, my brain is mush. My brain is mush these days. Because I'm not thinking about certain things. I'm avoiding thinking about certain things. Other things I just can't think. It's not fun. Trying to think of something and the words just aren't coming to my head, to my brain. So something I have been thinking about lately is talking to my doctor about getting some brain scans done, because for some reason I've been getting migraines and I've been having issues with my vision, and I know I need to get new glasses. I recently renewed my driver's license, but there were a few complications in that area because Canada Post is on strike. So I don't know when my driver's license is actually going to arrive, so I have a temporary. But when you go to renew your driver's license, you need 2 pieces of ID. And there's specific pieces of ID that you can use. My BC ID, my personal ID, it expired back in 2016. yeah. And I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off to renew it. Well, I definitely need to renew it. My personal health care, or my care card, is actually a part of my driver's license. So, when I went to renew my driver's license, my driver's license itself was my primary ID, but then for secondary ID, there was a problem because you can use your BC ID as long as it's not over 3 years expired. And well, yeah, mine is 9 years expired, so I couldn't use that as valid ID. So the insurance place, because of Canada Post being on strike, Service BC is only helping people who are on income assistance. So I went to an insurance place to be able to renew my driver's license. And they're like, sorry, we can't help you because of this issue with your BC ID. Or you don't have a valid secondary piece of ID. So they're like, well, you should go to Service BC and see if they can help you out. I get to be Service BC. There's 3 people in there. And all 3 of them are employees there. One is a security guard, and then there's the 2 people behind the counters to help people. And so I'm explaining the situation to the security guard, and he's like, well, you have to go to one of the insurance places. And it's like, well, yeah, the issue that I have is with my BCID being over 3 years expired and whatnot. And then one of the ladies overheard, and she's like, well, come over here and I'll see if there's something I can do to help. So I was explaining the situation to her, and she's like, yeah, unfortunately, we're only like, because of the strike and yada yada. And I'm like, they can only do like income assistance stuff. And I'm like, well, I am on income assistance. And she's like, oh, well, let me, and then she suddenly thought, well, let me check and see if I can help you through income assistance. Because I'm like, well, because I don't remember where my birth certificate is. I cannot remember where I placed it, because that can be used as a secondary piece of ID. And I'm like, well, it's on my file. Can I just get a photocopy of it? Anyways, she looked up some information through income assistance, and she's like, well, I can do a form. It's called an attestation form that attests or confirms that I am who I say I am, and it can be used as a legal secondary piece of ID. So she was able to do that for me. Now, for some reason, my mailing address on file was still saying no fixed address, even though several months ago, when Wolfie and I got her file done with income assistance here, we updated my rent, my shelter, my address, my physical address, all that stuff. So it should have been on file. Well, it wasn't. So then I had to go through the rigmarole of updating my mailing address as well as my physical address. And so now income assistance has my mailing address, and I explained to them that it may say P.O. box, but it's not an actual physical post office box. It's just the post office itself. My mail goes directly to the post office, but it's not general delivery. It's a special form of delivery called flex delivery, which is actually for like online purchase order deliveries. Yeah, it's so anyways, got that all updated and whatnot, and then got the paperwork, and then I went to then I went all the way to the other end of town, the town next door, because there's no Service BC here in this little town. That's why towns that do not have a Service BC office, they have an insurance company, an automotive insurance company that is set up to be able to hopefully help you with your driver's license and whatnot. So I had to go to the Service BC in the town next door. So yeah, when I got the paperwork done there, I went over to the dollar store and I bought a few things there. And one of the things that I got while I was there was this something new that they have there is they've got two of these little diamond paintings. There was a bouquet of flowers, and then there's this butterfly one, and it's a partial, and it's a 20 by 20. It's just cute. So I got that for like a bite-sized thing to work on at some point, and I already have it kitted up. It has 9 colors, and they're all specials. There's round, there's teardrop, there's like a cat's eye, another cat's eye, a flower, another cat's eye, and another teardrop. And the cat's eyes are like different sizes, and the teardrops are different colors. And one of the cat's eyes has a special texture to it as well, and that would be these big teardrops, actually. Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's the big teardrops that have the special texture. So I will be working on that at some point as well. That is these. See, little butterfly. I got another one of these containers. I got this container from the dollar store as well. But like, look at this. This is, see, they're very fancy, and these ones, number 9, are textured. They have a very, very bumpy texture to them. And then we got like little teardrops. Yeah, see, little teardrops. And some flowers. Red flowers. Yeah, it's really cute. So, something else I've been working on as well is I've been working on, I bought some really nice yarn, and I mentioned it in my last video. This yarn at the dollar store, I bought like three skeins of it, and I was talking with a lady about who was interested in it when I was grabbing it from the aisle. And then I was talking with her about diamond painting and what have you. And well, I ended up getting another one of those, one of those balls of yarn, another skein of that yarn, because that I am making into a mini granny. I call it a mini granny square blanket, mini granny square crochet blanket. Yeah, because you have to make all of these mini granny squares, like dozens of them, and then crochet the corners together. I have completed, oh my goodness, one of those before. I found the pattern on YouTube, but and it was the video was broken up into actually it was in three different videos. Unfortunately, the lady that was doing it, the lady in the videos, she was speaking Spanish, so I couldn't understand what she was saying, but I could follow what she was doing with her hands. So what I did was I just muted it, and then I just followed along with what she was doing, and I was writing down the directions. I cannot remember where I put the directions, but it is such a simple pattern. Yeah. It is such a simple pattern that it's easy for me to, it's like, yeah. It's, yeah, super easy to do. So I've been working on it. I do a bunch of squares and then I join them together. So I've got 3 skeins of the one color, I guess you could call it, because, well, it's not like a single solid color. It's different shades. It's black and then different shades of gray to white. And then those ones are the squares, the mini granny squares that I'm making. And then the other skein is the one that I'm using to join all of the squares together. And that one is, instead of shades of gray, it's shades of green between black and white, basically. Yeah. So, and I also, now I have been working on that pink knit blanket. I know I got fairly quite a fair amount of it done. And then I took it apart and started from scratch with smaller needles because the stitch is just too loose. So I'm using smaller needles for a tighter stitch. So, and I've got that. I've been working on that. And then I've been slowly working on my Smoking Rose cross stitch. So, yeah. Doing those while watching YouTube videos. And periodically binge watching a few episodes of Grey's Anatomy. And once in a blue moon I'll watch a movie. Yeah. As well as chatting on my phone with certain people. I've been opening up more to my boyfriend because of the conversations that I've been having with with his cousin. Talking with his cousin because I was kind of in a relationship with both of them. Kind of. Well, I was in a relationship with one guy who encouraged polygamy. Yes, he encouraged me to be with other people. And, well, so at that point in time, yeah, I was in a physical relationship with 3 other guys. And I know that these 3 guys, I was the only one that they were seeing at the time. Right? Yeah. Unfortunately, with what happens when you are in a physical relationship with someone that's supposed to be just casual, after a while, it becomes more than just a physical relationship. It becomes an emotional relationship as well. And I grew to have an emotional relationship with all 3 of these individuals, while my boyfriend at the time was away with work. Now, he worked for a traveling carnival. He worked on one of the rides. And, yeah. So while he was away, these 3 guys would come and visit and hang out and what have you. Yeah. all three of them were they were great people, great guys. But like, and they each had something that it really attracted me to them. But of course, to be in a serious relationship with someone, you can only be in a serious relationship with one person, unless all parties are in agreement and are okay and comfortable with it. Well, one of those individuals passed away a few years back now, and that particular individual, he had a son from a previous relationship, and he wanted to, back when Wolfie was still an infant, he wanted to marry me and get custody of his son and legally adopt my daughter as his daughter. So then Wolfie would have had an older brother, an older stepbrother, and they would have grown up together. That's what he wanted. At that point in time, I was just still in love with my boyfriend, even though he was away, and these guys were, in my view, keeping me company, basically, so I wasn't alone while my boyfriend was away. And so of the two that are still alive, they are second cousins. Yeah, they're second cousins. And so one of them is my boyfriend now. The other one, well, we just never connected when we were both single. One of us was always in a relationship, and whenever he and I connected, and we always ended up connecting when things were basically at the end of our relationships, and not wanting to be in our relationships anymore. But I was also that way with my current boyfriend as well. When things in my relationship was going downhill and I didn't want to be in that relationship anymore, I would basically run to the town next door. I'd run off and go to one of these two for company and comfort and to talk and try and figure things out. And yeah, and it was just how things were in my life, in my mind at those times. I never really thought of pursuing things further with either of them at those times. But whenever I was single, for some reason, I don't know. I think during the times when I was single, I was focused more on trying to keep things going with keeping my life, trying to stabilize my life and keep the ministry from taking Wolfie, and then later with all three of my children. And it was just, I was so caught up in my head with everything else that was going on, focused on all of that stuff. And it got to the point where, yeah, the ministry really screwed up my life. I did what I could. I did what I was told. The ministry was like telling me, well, in order to be able to keep your kids or to get your kids back or whatever was going on at the time, I had to jump through certain hoops. And I was jumping through those hoops. I was doing what they told me to do, what they wanted me to do. But it was never enough for them. Like, when Wolfie was an infant, I took infant first aid. So I had certification for first aid, level 1, as well as infant first aid. So if anything ever happened, I could deal with it. And I did. If something happened, I dealt with it. Still to this day, if something happens, I deal with it. I don't overreact. I don't flip out. I'm always calm in a crisis. No matter what's going on, I'm calm and reliable. I don't react until I act and then react. Like, if I'm in a confrontational situation, I act appropriately, unless it's with my dad. Lately, it's just, yeah. With him, it's a triggering thing. Family does that, unfortunately. But in any other situation, it's just, I'm calm, trying to assess the situation mentally, figure out how to deal with the situation. And it's not until afterwards, when I'm no longer in said situation, that I react. But it also depends on the length of the situation too. Like the day that my neighbor, when his wife came over and was giving me grief about getting a ride from him to cross the highway, or across the street, as she claimed, just so that I could go to the to my mechanic's shop to pick up my van. And she's like in my face, being all rude and disrespectful, and thankfully not yelling or calling me names or anything like that. I dealt with the situation calmly because I was like, well, it was totally unexpected, out of the blue, and I didn't want to react negatively and cause issues and strife between us, because, well, we are neighbors. We've got to live next door to each other. Yeah. But anyways, it wasn't until after she walked away, I walked away, I came inside. I started to put groceries away because I had groceries. And I started panicking. I started having a panic attack. And then Wolfie came out of the bedroom and she helped calm me down. Oh, and I'm sorry about the background noise. Like the space, because of the temperature because of the temperature and whatnot, it's cold. My watch says it's 8 degrees Celsius right now outside, and so I use space heaters. I don't use the furnace for heat because the furnace requires propane, and I am not. I'm not using the propane for heat. I'd rather use electricity for heat because electricity is included in the rent, and I can't really afford to. I don't want to have to pay for more than 1 tank of propane a month. I have other things that I could be using that money for, and I'm hoping to be able to start saving, setting money aside each month. Yeah, to be able to do stuff, to be able to afford stuff. So I'm hoping that while the space heater is on, you're able to hear me. You should be able to, because my mouth is like practically right next to the microphone. So, anywho, talking with my boyfriend's cousin is bringing back memories from all those years ago, and how he made me feel back then, and the times that I would visit with him and whatnot over the years. But it also reminds me of, it also brings back memories of his cousin, my boyfriend, and stuff that I've been through with him. Like, his cousin was over at my place one day when his older brother showed up to let him know that, like, their dad had passed away. So I never did actually get to meet their dad. But I know his mom really likes me, or did. I don't know if she still does or whatnot. But yeah. Yeah, the cousin was there in ways that helped. And he was like a dad to Wolfie, but Wolfie doesn't remember because she was so young. She was only a year old. Year and a half. Yeah, year and a half old. Yeah, between 1 and 2 years old. And yeah, it was almost like being in a relationship in ways, because he was very supportive and very he defended me with my sister. I'm pretty sure I talked about that incident that happened in the clinic in my hometown. Yeah. But I guess in a way, it scares me. Honestly, it scares me. Because subconsciously, I don't feel like I deserve that kind of attention and affection. He's told me that he wished, like, every relationship that he's been in since being with me, since we met 20 plus years ago, has been, in his eyes, a mistake. He wishes that, like, when my boyfriend back then, the one that was with the carnival, he has the nickname Dancer. When he came back, shortly after he came back from the carnival, we moved. I could have stayed. Our landlady was willing to lower the rent for me to stay. Lower the rent by like $50 for me to stay renting there. But he had to go. He had to leave. My dancer had to leave. Yeah, he got evicted. I didn't. But I went because, well, that's where my heart was at the time. I know. I was an idiot. But yeah. That's gonna be difficult. it was also because, well, out of the three, between the one that passed away, the cousin, and my current boyfriend, the one that I actually was attracted to the most out of those three was the one that is now currently my boyfriend. Because he was there for me in ways that I felt mattered most. The cousin, yeah, he'd come over and he'd help out, and but it was, I felt it was like he was trying too hard, because he was the youngest of 4 boys. One of his older brothers passed away before I met him. And then the oldest of the 4 was the one that came and told him that their dad had passed away. He passed away also. So now he's just got the one older brother. And that brother of his is a real piece of work. Yeah, not a good guy. Not a good guy. But, yeah, I just felt that he was trying too hard. I didn't want to be with someone who was trying too hard. I wanted to be with someone who treated me equal. And that's the one that I'm with now. He's always like treated me as an equal. He doesn't expect anything from me except for what he already gets, which is company, companionship, someone to talk with and hang out with, and I must make him happy because he keeps coming back to me. I keep going back to him because he makes me happy. And but the cousin also brings out feelings of like, he's a lot like my naughty side, and my naughty side scares me because of what I've done in the past due to my naughty side. And I don't really want that in my life anymore, but in a way I do, as long as it's like in a controlled environment, right? On my own terms. And it's, yeah, so it scares me. And plus he's got kids. Like, he's got 3 kids. They're all teenagers living at home with him. And I wouldn't want to be I wouldn't want him to run the risk of possibly having his kids taken away, even though they are older, like they are teenagers, so it should be okay because, well, teenagers are fine. But because of the crap from my files with the ministry, I always worry because so much of my file is incorrect information, and there's absolutely no way I can get it corrected. And this is information that will always be in my file for the rest of my life. And it is unfortunate, and it is what it is now. But if, say down the road, if Wolfie ends up having a kid, even though she's always saying that she does not want to have children, if it ever happened that she did end up getting pregnant and having a child and couldn't handle it or whatever, wanted me to help or take over, I would fight tooth and claw for that baby. I would. Because I am so done with having my offspring being traumatized by what the ministry did to me. And that's a large portion as to why Wolfie does not want to have children of her own. Because she's been a silent observer of my life for most of her life. She knows what they put me through. She knows and understands. And yeah. It's just a part of life now. Like, what can I do at the moment? But yeah, if they ever try anything, look out. I know people now. Thank you, YouTube. I know people. I know people now. If they try to mess with my child, with any of my children, if I ever find out that they're messing with any of my children, look out. My two younger ones, well, their adoptive parents have connections. And so I know they're protected. This one here, well, my dad, her grandpa, he's got connections. So I know she's protected. But yeah, I will do whatever I can to fight for my kids, even though it doesn't seem like it, because, well, my two younger ones grew up without me in their lives, and that's because I knew that I was in no when they were adopted, I was in absolutely no condition to even take care of myself, let alone try to take care of them. It was at one of the lowest points in my life. Yep. So, yeah, it is what it is. And I should stop talking because it's making me want to cry a bit. And that's not what this is supposed to be about. This is supposed to be about what's going on in my life right now. And, well, as you can tell, what's been going on in my life lately is a lot of reminiscing about the past and fighting against it. This morning was the first morning since he and I started talking that my boyfriend's cousin did not wish me a good morning because of the talk that we had last night. Yeah, I told him that I will not cheat on my boyfriend. I'm not that type of person anymore. Yeah, so anyways, so he's decided that if I want to reach out, then I can reach out and talk, but he's not gonna, basically. So yeah, And actually, I'm good with that. Yeah. So I've been deep in the fields the last week, trying to straighten things out in my own head and remember the good, remember the bad, but not let the bad overwhelm me. And I think it's coming together. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. Part of me is looking forward to my birthday. Oh, and for those Canadians, fellow Canadians out there, happy Thanksgiving weekend. I had to Google I had to Google it, but yeah, tomorrow is apparently Thanksgiving Day here in Canada. Because, yeah, I was watching, what was I watching? I was watching Just J-Hip, another YouTuber. His video from, his live stream from last night. I'm a day behind in my What the Hales saga videos. Because I like to watch them at 1.5 times the speed, so I'm not watching them live. I watch them on replay instead, so I can watch them at 1.5. So I watch them the day after all the channels that I watch that do What the Hales stuff. I watch them the following day. Excuse me, well, their videos about What the Hales. My #1 favorite YouTube channel. Yay! And I'm part of a Facebook group that has to do with all of that. And there is a particular individual who I am friends with, and she shares stuff with me from the Facebook group. And oh my goodness. Yeah. This morning she sent me a video clip. Well, she sent me the link to a video from one of the anti-Hales individuals. And it's a music video that he did. And I gave it a thumbs down because, well, it's rude, disgusting, and disrespectful, and overall bad taste. The tune is okay, but the lyrics and the video itself, forget it. Nope. Just, it's pretty bad. Yeah, pretty bad. But yeah, Just J-Hip, he is an individual who does parody. He comments about some of the What the Hales channels, YouTube channels. And the way he does it is hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, a couple of the employees, a couple of the people that work for What the Hales, they recently had their second child. They had a baby boy, so now they've got a boy and a girl. And on yesterday's What the Hales video, Jeremy and George went to go visit the newest member of What the Hales, and he's just the cutest little baby boy. And they named him Castiel, after the angel Castiel. Not the character from this TV show Supernatural either, but the actual angel. So it's Baby Cass for short. But he is so cute. He's got short spiky hair. And he's so tiny. Oh my goodness, so tiny. But yeah, I could sit here and talk for hours, of course. If you've been around long enough, you know that I could do, yeah, I could talk for hours and just talk about whatever comes into my head. And yeah, go down the rabbit hole with me. From one subject to the next, to the next, to the next, because that's just how my brain goes. It just, yeah. It's like a trail weaving through the trees in the woods. Like a crooked path. Yeah, and that's yeah, how my mind tends to get from point A to point B. To get from point A to point B, it travels through all points in between. Some points it stops, other before it continues on. Other points it just breezes by. And, yeah. If you can understand what I'm saying. And oh, here comes the heater coming back on. Yeah, I hope it's not too loud. But yeah, at night now, with it getting colder during the days and nights, the space heater, it's not like a specific number. It's the way this space heater is set up, it's in 5-degree Fahrenheit increments from 60 Fahrenheit up to 80 Fahrenheit or 85 Fahrenheit, something like that. So during the day I have it at 65 Fahrenheit, and at night I have it down at 60 Fahrenheit because I find it too warm at 65 at night. Yeah. I know I'm going to be increasing the temperature later in the season, but yeah. See, time flies. I'm hoping that you're able to see well enough of what I'm working on, but yeah. And I'm still dealing with the leaks from the roof of the slide out. I was actually woken up shortly after 5 this morning by a drop of water on my leg. Yeah. So for the leaking of the roof, I've got a line of yarn running down. It's tucked into the corner of the sunroof above where I sleep, and then it just runs down and into a container, so it's not like dripping and splashing. I don't know why I didn't think of it like last year. But yeah, instead of it dripping and splashing and making a big mess, it just trickles down the yarn and into the container. And then every so often I just dump the water out. Well, now it's leaking from 2 different corners, both on the same end, both on this end of the window. So now I've got yarn from both corners running down into the container. But I'm hoping that this next payday, which just happens to be the day before my birthday, I will be able to afford to buy what is needed to build a an awning to cover the slide out. Because I bought certain items in bulk this past payday. Like soups, and I also bought some waffles, some Eggo waffles, and Wolfie made some, threw some into the toaster for the two of us this morning. And yeah, so we're good for food. Certain items will last us, and all that wonderful stuff. So yeah, we stocked up a little bit on canned goods, so we'll be good until for that. So then this coming payday we don't have to spend as much money, which will give me enough, hopefully give me enough money to be able to afford to get what is needed to make the awning. And then it'll just be a matter of putting it all together. Yeah. And I'm thinking the most expensive part is going to be the clamps, because I need to get a couple of clamps. I do need to measure the actual length of the slide out, so I know the exact length for the 2x4 that I need to get each. I had a brief moment of brain fart. I'm like looking at the K's and A's and V's, and it's like, what letter am I doing? Oh, H. That's right, H. Yeah, these brain farts of mine are happening way too often. Now here I go back to talking about wanting to talk to the doctor about getting some brain scans done, and EEG, and I think you can get an MRI for the brain too, or I know CAT scan, I think it's called. Yeah, I gotta talk to the doctor, and I gotta see an optometrist. Or get new glasses. Wolfie's got to get new glasses. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, and I can't remember if I mentioned this, but yeah, Wolfie went and applied for a Walmart credit card and was denied. Yeah. Well, she's never had a credit card before in her life, so and we want to get her a credit card. And I know to get one through Capital One, you gotta have like $300 down payment for the credit card. And yeah, so we'll figure things out. Yeah, we'll get things figured out. In the meantime, we're just going to keep taking things one day at a time, because that's all you can really do, really. Oh, and I got to talk to my mechanic about the van, because I still need this driver's side mirror replaced. Still need to fix the driver's side door, and I need him to turn the idle up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna finish this row. I still have a fair bit left. I'm over halfway. I know that. I'm over halfway. But it's coming along nicely. And I think in my next video, I will show off the blanket, the granny square, the mini granny square crochet blanket that I'm working on. Yes. I do believe that's what I'm going to do. All right. So in the meantime, yeah, 1 hour. This is going to take forever to upload because that's just how it's been lately. All right. But in the meantime, right, as you know, I don't say this very often, but please like, subscribe, make a comment. I try to respond to comments as quickly as possible. Oh, and I also found a new diamond painting channel, Diamond Painting Dude. He apparently found my channel and he made a comment on one of my videos. It's a few months old of a video, but he made a comment, and so I went and I checked out his channel. Very new channel, very, very new channel. But yeah, I subscribed. I'm going to share the link to his channel down below. I'm gonna see about sharing links to other channels as well. I'm gonna go back into older videos and add the links to channels that I talk about so that you can follow them if you want. Check them out, see what they're like, right? Okay, but I'm gonna go and I'll see you in the next one.